Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Danielle, aka Stitcherista, here on YouTube, and today is Thursday, April 28th. So yes, I still have a cold. And I actually think I'm supposed to have a cleaning appointment on Monday. And a cough always stays with you even after you're not really sick anymore. I can't go in there coughing. So I think I'm going to reschedule the appointment. So last night, I finished the Coffee Bird. Yes, indeedy. I did stitching last night. Now, my job doesn't start until 1 o'clock today. It is currently 12:06 p.m. And yes, I finished the stitching last night, and I did the journaling today. So here is my finished page. I think it turned out really good. I really love how the stitching turned out. It turned out so good, didn't it? Now, one thing I know that I'm going to do in the future, when I cut the backing paper, because I back this with scrapbook paper, so it sort of hides the holes a little bit, I'm going to cut the backing paper a tiny bit smaller than the perforated paper piece, only because you can kind of see the paper on this side, but not a big deal. But I think it turned out so good. And remember, I did this page with also some coffee stickers and paper that were in the same theme. So this was my first bird from Heart and Hand. Absolutely love them. I love all of the birds. I love the Thanksgiving one. He's wearing a hat, I think, a pilgrim hat. Yeah, I love them so very much. So nice to add another page in there. So my next project, which remember, I already have the page done, is going to be this little cutie from Just Another Button Company, one of their button kits called Two Tweet. So it looks like they stitch it on lavender. It's Weeks Dye Works Grape Ice Linen, but I'm going to stitch mine on lavender perforated paper. Yeah. And so I have the pin, and I have all the buttons came in the kit. So it literally only takes 2 yellows. Now, the only thing I have to say I am disappointed about, I was hoping the feet would be that bright. See that bright orange? They're not. They're like a brown. That's the only thing I'm disappointed about. I know I could probably paint them if I wanted to, but I'm not. But yeah, I wish they were the bright orange that they are in the picture, but they're not. And neither is the beak. The beak looks bright orange in the picture too, but it's actually the same brown as the feet. So, yeah. But yeah, going to start that today, and I need to find a washi tape to put around the edge of that. I have like a lot of washi tape. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you. I do have like an inspirational story to read. No purchases. Mail hasn't come yet today. I don't think I'm getting anything anyway. I don't know. But yeah, I didn't even look for OMG moments today or anything like that. Literally, I went to bed last night, didn't get out of bed till about 8:30 a.m. today, and I decided to throw laundry in, grab a cup of coffee, get back in bed. I finished a really good book by Kirsten Moglin on Kindle Unlimited called Tell Me the Truth. Doozy. That was a doozy. And so I'm looking for another book to start. I want to say, let's see how many books I've read this year. I'm killing it. I'm killing it for sure. I've read 27 books. Let's go. So I am 9 books ahead of schedule to hit my 60 book goal. So, but yeah. Yeah. All right. So today's inspirational story is called, let's move this over here. Loving the junk journal. Loving so much how it's turning out. Oh, before I say this inspirational story, when I filmed my retreat vlog, the first 3 words out of my mouth, 2 of them are cuss words, right? And I debated when I got in the car, because I was definitely feeling that way. I debated whether I wanted to start my video with that, because I thought it's going to upset some people, because there will always be people who will comment about my language. that is probably what I'm most hated for on YouTube, right? Is cussing. And I mean, I posted that video Monday, and everyone who commented, nobody mentioned it. I mean, a lot of people like resonated with it, because I was surely feeling that way from the job, not getting in my car till 7:15, all of that. So I wake up this morning, and one of the first things I do when I look at my phone is I look at comments. And there was a comment finally. Now, I feel like when I get people that this person said something along the lines of, I came to this video thinking it would be like a really fun video, and then something like, your foul mouth, a 40-plus-year-old person, blah, blah, blah. I mean, they wrote like a diatribe. So I don't really play anymore. I didn't respond to it. I just blocked it, so they can't comment anymore. They're not blocked from watching. That's the thing. But they are blocked from commenting, because, yeah, you can't comment after I block you. Or you hide the user from your channel. So, you know, it got me thinking too, because, and I was like researching, why are people so offended by cuss words? And I think it's because we've been taught that they are bad words, you know, from a kid. I mean, when you think about it, it's just a word. Like, there was an article I read this morning about how somebody 30 or 40 years ago said the word bloody, which in the UK, that's like the cuss word for fuck, I guess. They said bloody, and people lost their damn minds. Bloody? Like blood? You know, so that just makes it like, think about if chair would be a cuss word. I'm going to chair you. Like, that sounds ridiculous, because we're not taught that it's a cuss word, right? So to get upset about these words, anyway, it's a word. But I think a lot of people, I'm sorry, my nose is running. I think a lot of people who come on my channel and comment about my language in a negative way, saying I'm a horrible person and blah, blah, blah. First off, don't watch enough of my videos to know me. If you watched enough, you know the kind of person that I am. I don't cuss every other word. And you also have to realize that even though Bill and I, every other word, we let it fly free in our house. I don't cuss in front of my parents. When I'm out in public at things, like, especially like, okay, at the retreat's a good example. I'm conscious of not doing it in public. Like, when I wanted to say the F word, I kind of like whispered it to like Lacey and them when we were at the table. I didn't say it loud so the whole room could hear it. It wasn't like that. I'm very conscious of that. That being said, this is my channel. I can say whatever the fuck I want on my channel. I can say whatever the hell I want on my own video, because you don't have to watch it. Yeah. Okay. So we just wanted to say that again for the 8,000th time, right? I'm never going to not get those comments. I realize that. Yeah. All right, so today's story. Tragedy turned into a blessing. And I've previewed this story, like I read through it. It's a good one. Did you ever look back in your life and realize that certain misfortunes and crosses were actually blessings in disguise? I have talked about that so much on my channel, right? I've mentioned that many, many times, that when you're unhappy about something not going your way, it may not be going your way for a bigger purpose, right? A better purpose. So here is the story I came across which illustrates that point. One afternoon, the gym coach was teaching his students how to throw a javelin. After he finished, and a javelin reminds me of like the long stick with the point at the end. I'm sure that's what it is. After he finished giving instructions, he let the kids try their hand at the 6-foot-long spear. Yeah, spear. The longest throw was 30 yards. When everyone but the skinny 100-pound Eugene Orowitz had tried, the coach said, "Do you want to try throwing it too, Orowitz?" And Eugene nods. The other kids laughed at Eugene. "Hey, ugly, can you lift it?" someone shouted. Wow, kids are so cruel. "Careful, you will stab yourself," shouted another. Eugene raised the javelin over his head, took 6 quick steps, and threw it. It soared 20, 30, 40, 50 yards. Then it crashed into the empty bleachers. Dang! Eugene's throw went twice as far as the others. It was an eye-opener for the coach and everyone else, obviously. That summer, Eugene began practicing for 6 hours a day throwing the javelin. Soon he gained the record of the farthest throw of the javelin among all the high school athletes in the entire U.S. In the entire U.S. 6 hours a day practicing? Oh my. Eugene was given an athletic scholarship in college. He trained his sights in the Olympics. Then one day he did not warm up properly, and he tore the ligaments in his shoulder, in both of his shoulders. That put an end to javelin throwing, his scholarship, and his dreams. All his hard work went down the drain. It was as if God slapped him in the face after all the efforts reaching that far. The tragic story of Eugene Orowitz raises a difficult question. Why does God let misfortune wreck the lives of so many good people? Why does he let suffering bring tears to the eyes of so many fine individuals? These are hard questions. But certain misfortunes and failures can be a blessing in disguise. To go back to Eugene Orowitz, after dropping out of school, he worked in a warehouse. One day he met a struggling actor to help him with his lines. Eugene got interested in acting himself and enrolled in an acting school. His big break came when he was cast as Little Joe Cartwright in Bonanza. That show ran on TV for 14 years. Later, he got the lead in another long-running TV show, Little House on the Prairie. I thought it was Little House on the Prairie. Eugene Orowitz became the popular actor called Michael Landon. Dude, right? And Landon became the popular actor called Michael Landon. And Landon will tell us that the best thing that ever happened to him was the day he tore the ligaments in his shoulders. He would have never become an actor if he would not have done that. He probably would have went on to throw the javelin, be in the Olympics, all that. His life would have taken a completely different turn. So what seemed an incredible tragedy turned to be an incredible blessing. It guided him into a new life that surpassed by far the dreams of his old life. So what is the moral lesson of this story? If you are a young person who dreamed of making it, say, to the basketball team but did not make it, perhaps you should keep in trying. And if you still cannot make it, perhaps you are cut out for something else. Further, and I think this one is more important than the young people one. Further, if you are an older person who dreamed of being successful in business, of having the world's greatest marriage, but ended up having none of these, pick up your cross like the Lord. He can mend your broken dreams and who knows, can lead you to a different but better possibility somewhere else. Yeah, I love that story so very much because look at how many people become authors, book authors, very late in life, 50, 60 years old, writing their first book. It's never too late. It's never too late. Okay. Let me read this so I can get off of here and get something to drink. How are we going to continue to unfuck ourselves in 2022? That was a decent tear. I get it. You've had a hard life. Now what? And I've always said, you have a choice. Different people handle things differently. You have a choice in how you handle. Once you're an adult, you have a choice in how you handle circumstances. Yeah, I chose to persevere over mine, even though I've talked about them quite a bit, because sometimes when I read these true crimes or read these stories, it will spark a childhood memory, you know, of how much of an asshole my stepfather was. Excuse me. But yeah, you have a choice. You always have a choice. Okay, so I hope you guys are all having a great Thursday. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them. Oh my God, I got the hiccups now. Please leave them in the comments section below, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing and spending almost 15 minutes of your day with me today. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.